Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to Idea Diary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. Today is going to be random tips day that come off the top of my head. I am supposed to be in a Zoom in about 25 minutes, and I'm supposed to have a story that I can tell in 3 minutes that has a beginning, middle, end. A story about my life, and I haven't done that yet, so I need to do that, and I'm going to do it with the camera on, but I'm not going to share that story today. I'm going to edit it out while I'm talking here, because it's supposed to be a story. There's no rules really, but it's a communication workshop that I'm in that I decided to jump in and pay for. It was about a $500 class for 9 weeks, and wow, I feel like I get a lot of it. I know the whole classes thing there's kind of a predatory element to women in general, doing it to other women, where it's like, I sell courses on how to sell courses, or I wasn't successful until I made a course about how to be successful. I don't want to judge anybody because everyone's on a different path, but I think you might see what I mean. I know there's just a ton of valuable courses out there, but there are a few that just seem to be like, why are you selling a PDF for $2,000? It's not necessarily like MLM predatory. It's in a different way, and it's hard to pinpoint it exactly. And it really, honestly, I do not want to judge people on what they do and how they sell product. That's not what I'm saying. I just know I felt nervous being bombarded with buy my course on social. I feel like it's kind of died down a bit. But this guy had a course, and I really felt like he had a course because he had something to share and to teach and to help with, rather than I have a course because I need money. It was just a totally different angle. He was really funny, so I was just like, okay. Took a couple days. I was like, hey, if $500 falls into my hand, I'm going to sign up for that course. And I think there were a few days until the sign up time closed. So I was like, So I really did say, if free money just falls into my hand, I'm signing up for that course. And of course, I got a check in the mail of unexpected money that was way above the course price. So I immediately signed up. And then while I was in the first day of the course, there was money deposited in my account that I wasn't expecting. A week later, I got another check that I wasn't expecting. It was one of those things where my gut was telling me, get into that course, and I really was afraid to listen because of the predatory course world that's out there. But you know what? I had a good feeling, and I took a chance, and I'm really happy about it. I'm kind of blown away by the amount of time and attention the person giving the course is giving for the amount of money, because it seems like a lot. And it's not one-on-one time or anything, but it's in a group, but it's a lot of time. It just seems like a lot of time for the amount of money. So I do feel like I'm getting so much out of it. I'm at least getting $500 worth. All right, so today's office tip is making your own iced coffee. Iced coffee is really hard. And if you've had really good iced coffee in a coffee shop, you know that you cannot make that at home. There's like a magic taste, and I don't know what they do. My favorite iced coffee in Austin is Royal Blue Grocery. Holy moly, that is some good iced coffee. They use a coffee called Cat's Coffee, or at least they did the last time I was there. It's definitely been probably in 2019 or before the last time I went downtown for coffee. But they use a coffee company called Cat's Coffee, and I've seen in other coffee shops they use Cat's Coffee, but nothing tastes as good as the iced coffee at Royal Blue Grocery. And I asked them how they make it, and they do a cold brew. So cold brew at home, the way that I do it, is I bought one of these guys at the grocery store. It is an iced coffee maker. It has a little thing that goes in the middle, and you jam pack that little filter with coffee grounds. You fill it with coffee grounds, and then you brew just plain water in your regular coffee maker. I don't think you want to boil coffee. I think that might be too hot. But just whatever the brewing hot coffee temperature is, you then pour the hot water on top of your coffee grounds, And it takes a while for it to seep through, so you kind of got to go little by little, add your hot water. And then once all the hot water's in, then I immediately fill up the rest of the pitcher with just lukewarm water. So it's getting like this immediate burst of hot water to kind of brew instantly, and then just immediately gets a slowdown of room temperature water. And then I kind of leave it on the counter, and then I put it in the fridge for at least 24 hours. Sometimes it's like 48 hours before I actually get to drinking it. And then I want to drink it within a day or two. I don't want to leave the coffee sitting in the fridge too long, because then it's just like not as magical. And sometimes within that 24-hour period, I will stir the coffee grounds a little bit and put it back in the fridge before it's ready to drink. And sometimes I forget. But the one thing I do, if I'm letting the coffee brew for more than like a day, I don't really like to leave the coffee grounds in the pitcher for more than too much longer than over a day. It might not matter so much, but I kind of like to just take out that filter and just let that coffee just sit in the fridge and be cold until I'm ready to drink it. And that's how I get like a really rich, dark, cold coffee taste. Because I don't know if you've experienced this, but if you make hot coffee and then you kind of try to make it cold so that you can make an iced coffee, it's not exactly the same. It's not disgusting or the worst thing in the world, but it's definitely not the greatest iced coffee. If you do that hot burst of hot water over coffee grounds and then let it sit for 24 or 48 hours in the fridge, that's where it's going to get more of a smooth, dark, chocolatey iced coffee taste. It's amazing. I definitely keep cups with lids in my pantry, and if I know I'm driving around doing errands, I make my own coffee, and I make my own to-go coffee and drink in the car, and that probably saves about $4,000 a year just making your own coffee. And I kind of know it's going to taste better than stopping at a Starbucks or a Coffee Bean or whatever freaking to-go coffees there are out there. I just don't do that. But I do love driving around with an iced coffee, running errands, doing whatever. And in Texas, it's pretty hot. So sometimes I do crave warm coffee in the morning. It's not that hot. But there's some days where I'm just like, I need cold stuff all day long, and this does the trick. I do like iced tea, but for some reason, making iced tea at home always feels like work. You cannot beat iced tea in a restaurant. Restaurant iced tea is amazing. There's no comparison. So sometimes for iced tea, I want to have my iced tea out and have someone else make it for me, and that tastes better. Oh, and while I'm blanking on what to say next, I will bring you the song of the day. Today's show is brought to you by the song of the day, which is by a band called the Posies, off an album called Frosting on the Beater. And I couldn't decide between Dream All Day and Solar Sister, but I went with Solar Sister. It's less of a hit, but it has a very specific line, and just the way that the guy sings it, there's just something that is just so 90s rock romantic. And I just love the way that guys in the 90s would write love songs and try to be deep or whatever. But yeah, if you haven't heard that song, or if you haven't heard it in a while, I suggest you go down a rabbit hole and go listen to the Posies' Solar Sister. And I didn't have much time to do any other research this morning, but I saw that there are a bunch of live television appearances by the Posies, so I might go a little bit later today after I do all the things and watch some live Posies television appearances. Those are some of my favorite things to watch when I'm on YouTube watching songs. I will listen to full albums inside YouTube if I'm walking or just have like an itch to hear a specific song, and I don't want to like go into my closet to pull down my CD cases to spend about an hour and a half trying to find something specific. So I will definitely use the YouTube Music platform, because they have pretty much everything is in there in some way. And if it's not officially in there, somebody has ripped it off a CD and has put it onto YouTube. So I'm pretty happy about all the music that YouTube has to offer. And I definitely listen to way more music on YouTube than say off of Spotify or something like that. I love the TV performances. They're some of the best. And I'm going to go practice my 3-minute storytelling with a beginning, middle, end. We'll see how it goes, but I do think it's a good exercise. I will report back on how I do. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today. See you later.